Our heroes have been scouring the black desert sands, following various leads, all in one plight, making the outpost, which has become Arventa, this place that has been discovered in a once-in-a-generation opportunity. Various factions have come and have done their best to build up what they have found amongst the ruins. The Circle and the Vulpes Argentum are two factions that have been scouring the deserts, and of them, their members have found treasures, one of which have been the Oriss, this time-manipulating, prophetical device that has allowed people to manipulate their futures around them. Recently, our heroes have engaged a wandering, nomadic, elven tribe and their plight to gain various treasures to sacrifice in the Pyre of Gede. At the base of a large mountain within this jagged, rocky mountain chain, our heroes have made relationships with this wandering eye camp, and one of their elders, Tenethiel, was cut down in a need of mistrust and misguidance, allowing his blood to be spilled amongst the hands of our heroes. Tonight, though, as the mountain looms, holding presumably the last orb and the missing, teleported ally Vanwin, the priest that has been of aid within Arventa, our heroes have taken their treasures from this storehouse and have gone back to Arventa in order to do their best to build up and fortify and grow this fledgling outpost. So with that, amongst the ruins, with our various adventurers and civilians and, folk that have gathered within the growing outpost of Arventa, who do we see and what are they doing?
Well, he has returned to Arventa after weeks, I guess, of adventuring and misdeeds in the desert. It's Loric Glasseater, the increasingly bloodthirsty or wrathful shaman elf from the seas. But, I don't think he's completely lost his humanity, so to speak. I don't know if you can say that about elves or not, but he still, retains some of that healing nature that he was always nurturing throughout his life. But things have certainly taken a darker turn for him since the sunken castle. So here he is back in Arventa with all of the treasure and
what's he doing?
Memories.
Frame his actions. What's he engaged with? How do we find Loric?
All right. Well, he's in the center of the town, and he's bragging a bit, regaling people with, the violent deeds. But at the same time, the children or whoever it might be are kind of looking to him, grasping for, some coin. And so he's given out a few coins and such. Maybe, less, in a less showy fashion than you would expect.
And Arventa, as you pointed out, is not just adventurers and hardened military folk just out and about. This is a compilation of missionaries and hopefuls, elders and youth, children, as you pointed out. These have been folk that have looked for a better life or are escaping an old one from the old world, wrought with war and political intrigue, where this seems to be a fresh new start, and little did they know what to expect amongst the ruins of this once inaccessible world. And these sights and stories that they've heard about out in the Black Desert Sands have been intriguing, and Loric being one of these key figures, coming back with tales of the sunken castle and now a Pyre of Gede. kids, I don't want to say look up to Loric, but they are intrigued by this brave person who's come back. Amongst all of these villagers and amongst all of these up-and-coming shop owners, what do we see? Who do we see and what are they doing?
Elarius of the Vulpes Argentum is casually leaning against a ruined wall, just peering out over the activity before him, occasionally glaring over at Loric. Elarius has become embittered, certainly by the events that he has witnessed in the adventure to this point, but also there is a fire inside of him as his vengeance has been taken from him by Loric in the removal of Kroltuk of the Preservation Syndicate from reality. Kroltuk was responsible for the death of Senix, who was one of Elarius's companions in the Vulpes Argentum, and being too late to save Senix and also other members of both the Vulpes and the Desert Dogs. This was just one step too far. And so Elarius is trying to reconcile that while recognizing a capable ally at the same time within Loric.
Well, with that, I'm going to steal that motivation that you have here in terms of Kroltuk. If we to cast your mind back, as Loric uncaps that potion of extirpation, expunging him from reality, Kroltuk with his, blue blazoned robe that all the Preservation Syndicate members wear, but his face gaunt, stern, as he's eradicating away with this, his words ring through your mind. To all of you, you disregard the legacy behind you, and that will cost you the legacy before you. The Syndicate will find a way to extract the past, to exact our fortune, as he slowly unravels. So with that, we find ourselves in Arventa as the last vestiges of Kroltuk linger within your mind, these words that ring. With this, do you guys tell people about Kroltuk? Do you guys share this feeling of what happened in the Pyre?
I think Elarius would have only shared this with his closest and most trusted allies, being chiefly Bone Gnasher and
the Knoll,
Ingeniatorum.
the dwarf, yeah.
Yep. Both of the Vulpes / Desert Dogs, as the two have kind of merged in Arventa.
The Vulpes dog, the Argentum dogs.
But yeah, other than that, Elarius is staying tight-lipped about the entire experience to the outside world, because he recognizes that it was not exactly the most honorable situation that went down in the Pyre. Despite how satisfying it was.
It was certainly a calamity of events, to say the least. And now you guys are all amongst the town, taking a breath, and managed to start establishing routes and passages between all of these sites of interest, with presumably maybe the mountain further within the mountain chain of interest, but who knows what you guys will eventually set your sights towards. So you guys want to carouse?
Yes, I think that's a good idea. Yeah.
If by that you mean drowning Elarius' sorrows, then yes.
Yeah, I think we need a different word, because we're using our Arventa
Drowning his
carousing
sorrows in labor.
With that, we'll give you your luck tokens.
Oh, okay.
You'll have the pyre here, a campfire story, maybe share a moment that's happened, and Loric, you'll have the obelisk. Maybe we'll learn more about Loric's position in the old world. But usually we end with the carousing, but this time I think we're giving our newly formed table a whirl here, because you guys are rocked with loot.
All right. All right. So, we can definitely do the 900.
You see that all right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
just
the
drinking it in.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, 30, 100, 300, 600. I'm just reading this out for anybody. 900, 1200, and 1800 gold. Obviously with increasing benefits. So
Yeah, I'll probably overlay it here.
yeah, and I think we could have a 900 perhaps where we do 450, or we could go less, whatever. But those 3 checkboxes, if we do it 3 times, we each get a new character in our faction.
I mean, that's enticing to me.
How many do you have left?
One who has not
Been named, yes.
been named
So you have
created.
Same.
3 active.
3 active,
and
one in
so
the
4 total.
Yeah,
brains,
the
yeah.
same.
I gotta start weeding those people
Yeah.
out.
Oh, I don't know. We're doing fine. We're doing good.
Up the stakes here.
Yeah, I think that's good. So why don't we do that? If you're open
Yeah.
to that.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, Elarius can contribute 500.
all right. So population grows somehow. I guess we maybe have some new housing.
Yeah, okay,
So,
so describe this. You guys have spent some time and finding resources. This gold is a loose translation of finding resources, whether it's raw lumber or just actual materials. Maybe there's some sort of crafting process that you learn how to use the sand and the rocks and excavating all this stuff, repurposing a lot of the runes as well.
I feel like this particular time might not be a long-term thing. Maybe
It's been happening. It's been happening.
Yeah, maybe we just like
put the finishing touches on
engage
this.
a contractor, carpenter to build something.
Yeah, and I like to think that as news of the exploits of the various factions has spread, not only within Arventa, but also more importantly out in the desert, individuals from various tribes have come to Arventa. Again, we had the desert dogs take up residence there, at
Sure.
least some of them.
Yeah, I would say that's probably a reason for population.
The beastmen as well, right? So
Being lifted from the darkness. Yeah, so that's a great overall population growth type of mindset. As word is traveling, you're encountering different people, like the Wandering Eye camp, that thought they were the furthest to the north, the furthest to the northwest of the whole little edge of the coast or whatever. So this little rumor that is spreading, or word is getting out that there's actually more up there. So perhaps these wandering elves, one or two have made their way over, or folks from further out in Taptooth that you came across. The Kistas, the Medusa, obviously is not here, but she's had clientele in this city, so perhaps they have learned about this place of Arventa, and people are coming by to check it out. But I would imagine it's way out of the way, and it's very hidden, so people don't know its whereabouts, to the advantage of Arventa, but maybe to the disadvantage as well too, because you don't have access. So doing something like this,
some gold.
to put some way markers and put signs, or start paving a road.
Patch them up when they come in half dead.
we're paying Guar to put some big rocks.
Outpost this way. But into the deep history of it all, you don't know what this site was used for, and why the Oriss was here in its orb of time condensing nature. So something about this seems to indicate that this site was used to house the Oriss, and having it be completely far away from everything was probably purposeful, was probably done with reason. And you're slowly figuring out that the people of this land are generations removed from the deep history of this now called Arventa, of the Cyclopean rulers that once used generation materials and sign language, Cyclopean sign language, to create out of thin air. And you guys have slowly been unraveling that. So you're gonna, all right, you guys spending 900 gold, you're getting a +4 bonus to your carousing.
All right.
We may need a better word for that.
So how much are we each putting in?
Oh, and you see this base up here too. We're gonna roll a d4 for the base, but since you have one site controlled, you're gonna do a d6. And I'm considering the Citadel a site, and the Sunken Castle a site. So
Okay.
if you control another site, that D6 will become 2D6.
Oh, okay. So we're doing a D6.
Yeah.
But then we have
Done yourself. I like this.
You like that? Yeah.
5th level characters.
Yeah, I just noticed that too. So you'll get a +1 per 5th level character as well too.
All right.
Okay.
To everybody or per faction?
Whoever's at the table. For every 5th level character at the table, you get a +1.
Oh, I see. So the character has to be playing that day.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I think you guys are 5th, right?
Hilarious
No.
is.
Loric's 4.
Oh,
But, you
not
know,
powerful enough, Loric.
if you weren't so stingy with all that XP.
Hey, you gotta pipe up for it. You gotta make a claim.
You gotta make a claim, but just not now. Just not right now.
Yeah, you guys are 5th level.
All right,
You're
so,
quite powerful. You're getting quite powerful.
All right,
So
is it
1d6.
D6.
Yep, for carousing, for
Plus-
building, for prospecting. Trying to find a word for it.
Nice. 5. Okay.
Yeah, +5 because you have a 5th level character.
Oh, so everybody. Oh.
Yeah.
So
And
6.
in the gold. Yep. Okay.
Okay. Shoddy do.
Nice.
All right.
Okay, so Loric gets. What happens here? You got a shoddy build.
All right, so Loric
This
is
is
kind of
beneath
like
him.
bragging and boasting about what happened, and maybe just kind of like, you know, he like steps on the carpenter's hand as he's like parading around, and so the guy's like, he can't work as well, so he builds kind of a.
He's also a sea elf too, so maybe all of this desert dwelling and desert building is, beyond his
Yeah,
means.
he's not used to these materials.
Yeah,
Right. So, well, I don't know if he's the one building or not, but at
He's
least
helping in all
yeah.
of this process. Yeah.
Right, so a little extra coin there.
Yeah, there's your 4
Smooth
XP.
over the thing.
Right, so we're doing the plus 10% cost, so you spent a 900, so it'd be 90 gold more.
Well, we each did 450, so.
Oh, okay, so it would be 45 for you.
So wait, what did you roll? A 2?
A 1.
6
Oh,
total,
one.
but yeah,
Oh,
1.
okay.
Yeah.
So you get a 5 plus a 5, which is a 10 here. Oh my goodness.
Oh, you get a 10?
Go ahead.
Okay, so 10 is uncover. Hey, English. Uncover Cyclopean artifact. Gain 5 XP and a key piece of campaign knowledge.
Any desires? Otherwise, I have an idea.
Go for it.
In your recent
I have an
plight,
idea.
expunge,
But...
what are you thinking?
Well, we're still trying to figure out what the wagging finger
That's what I was
gesture-
gonna. Yeah, we're on the
Okay,
same
yeah,
wavelength.
I thought so, but I wanted to
In
jump
your-
in there just to hedge my bets.
Yeah, so good idea, Errol. That's way better than what I was thinking.
Oh,
thanks.
thanks. I feel so good now.
Yes, in your endeavors within the Pyre, you met this spectral cyclops, this figure Lily, who was trying her best to mind meld and communicate with you. And seeing you guys make the efforts, did she focus your hearts, minds, and souls on her Cyclopean language and recognize the salute of the Volpace as well as the efforts of Loric? In the end, was the Cyclopean Compass recovered, and the gesture, the sign, was a wagging finger. And as you have been slowly uncovering not everything to your normal eyes is what you think it is to be, and finding more of the ruins and learning about the deep history in Arventa, do you find, one of these rings here that you spin it around, it has like this illusionary sort of like figure captured within it, and the illusionary figure is one of these ancient members of Arventa, and they're speaking in the sort of a Simcom sign language spoken sort of way, and you manage to pick up this is where where are we going today? It's almost like a recording of an innocent family, of a little adolescence, a little becoming a teenager, and there seem to be someone's recording them. Their parents or whatever are trying to record them in this strange little ring contraption, one illusionary magic. And you see this little kid, where are we going today? Where are we going? And you manage to learn in the deep history of this site the sign where. And when you use the sign where with the Cyclopean Compass, does it tell you the finger starts to point off into a direction, and it takes you to a site in which time itself has stalled, as if in this moment of preservation, the bricks are a little bit younger. The fresco, the painting on the walls, a little bit more vibrant. The pottery is like it's fresh out of the urn. It's as if time itself has been halted. So this where gesture sign, when using it with the Cyclopean Compass, seems to take you and point you off into directions in which time itself has stalled.
Huh.
Perhaps Arventa itself and your initial discoveries of it all was all completely enshrouded in this time-stopped bubble that has slowly collapsed on the Oriss. And boy, does it point at the Oriss every time you talk about where. Where are moments of time stalled? Where are moments, where's somewhere we should go? This way. The compass points this way. And in turn, do you find time itself kind of, paused, stalled. Perhaps this compass would help you with larger sites, like the Sunken Castle, like Taptooth, like the Steel Lion Den, Salt Stone Tower, who knows? But the compass would be able to point you into directions of time from, the first age.
Well, that's
Interesting.
cool.
Okay.
There you go. That was all
Good
from your
going.
presence.
Good discovering.
So in your efforts to propagate and prosper Arventa, did you find one of these little recording rings and a lost, figure from the first age?
Okay.
Cool stuff.
Now, what else are you interested in you guys doing?
I think we want to go back to the
Yeah,
mountain.
let's explore that peak. And I'm very curious about the whereabouts of Van Wyn and what his disposition might be upon seeing the return of Elarius and Loric. Curious about the sword. And this Gede figure, avatar of Gede, who knows what this actually is.
Now, did we acquire any camels as we were leaving the camp?
Well, they don't like Elarius, because Elarius, by proxy, smells like milk. So,
Right? Yeah.
Well, maybe we charmed him. I mean, I don't know. Why not, right?
You want to get some camels?
Yeah, I would. Loric would, I think, grab a camel. He'd be like, I'll take this, and, head back. Would Elarius just want to walk, or would you want to get a camel?
Elarius would begrudgingly accept a camel if Loric helped him get it.
All right, well, luckily there were two camels harnessed together, so, kind of
Fancy
like
that.
the pony tied to the horse or whatever. Those type of things.
Yeah. They're suspicious of you guys last we left them. And these silver-haired camels, is that what you're going for after? One of their
That's what they got, right?
That's what they got, yeah. They're prized possessions. Now, half their camp was killed in the Blood Rock release of these creatures. So there's some camels left.
Maybe a few more with the goons fighting in the cave. I don't know.
What?
Maybe not. I guess none of them really died in the cave.
Oh yeah, in
scuffle,
the actual,
maybe, but I
yeah.
don't
No,
know.
it was just like you, Tanathiel, and they
Just
were
kind of the fight. Yeah,
and
they
were
kind of ran away.
Right. The camp has dwindled in number significantly, mainly because of that Blood Rock monsters release. but they're not willing to part with these silver camels so easily.
But
You did offer the Orb of Greed, though, as a sacrifice.
well, you also mentioned that a few of them may have joined our Arventa, and so perhaps as they were doing that, they came back with us with some camels for all of us.
Roll a charisma check. You'll get 1. If you get over 17, then you'll get 2.
All right, let's try it. Straight 10 on charisma, so
Ooh.
here we go.
18.
There we go.
Wow. So
Loric's charmed him.
they're suspicious of you, but they're more enamored with the fact that there's more places to go investigate, to go discover in this outpost of Arventa. So they have brought parting peace offerings, or sort of like a truce, or at least gifts to acknowledge your presence as a outpost and their presence as
Kind of like a little delegation almost.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah.
All right. So,
And these silver camels will help you guys get across the desert for sure.
sweet. Silver camel acquired. All right, baby. Silver-haired camel. We're gonna have to give it a name. So how about that naming? How about that name table? You got the name generating table?
Which one? The syllable one. Yeah. You want to do the syllable one?
If the name sucks, I'll come up with something better next time. But,
Go ahead. You want to name your camel?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Go ahead. Roll a couple
Morris,
d20s.
you know, he's the man of the wild, right? So he'd
Yeah,
be
here.
definitely naming his camel out the wazoo.
You roll your d20s and put all these.
All right, so he doesn't need a prefix, I think, but
Well, they're just syllables that you just jam together, you know.
Yeah. All right, so 20. Oh man, wish I'd saved that.
Thank you.
Lemurkiel.
Lemurkiel. Lemurkiel, the silver-haired camel.
It's way too long. We'll just do another one. Jesus. That's another bad. These are bad for this one, so I'm getting all the high rolls out of the way. Oh my god. Keep running.
18, 16.
Another 16.
Good. Get them out of here. Go to
3. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Lentos. That's pretty bad. All right, hold on.
You work on that.
Certos.
Elarius is not rolling on the table.
You have a name for your camel?
Elarius is going to call his camel Faz.
Faz.
All right, nice.
I see what you're going there. I see what you're doing there. So these silver-haired camels, Thaz and
Certos.
they glide across these black desert sands like a shooting star silvered across the dunes and the hills. And you two are doing your best to explore out into the mountains. These mountain chains, they seem to glow. They have like a undertone of color to them. If everything was black, in the right setting sun, does you see a glimmer of red in the stones and the rocks of these mountains. Making your way back to the general location of the Pyre of Gede, what would you guys be talking about? What's your focus as you head into these mountain chains?
So as we're riding our camels. I can't tell if it's the sun or your eyes burning the back of my neck, tree elf. Do you have something to say?
Well, since you bring it up, I am grateful for your company, but I am dismayed at the mayhem that seems to follow in your wake.
Go on.
As I arrived into the bowels of the sunken castle, it was you, I understand, who took Fazoon from this earth. Whether you meant to or not, whether you knew what you were doing or not. He was a respected leader and someone who I held in high esteem.
I understand the respect you had for that being. I don't think I bear much responsibility, given that I did not put him in a cage, and I was not mining the minerals from the earth that were tormenting all of us, that have burned into my very soul. But I can understand why you're unhappy he's gone. I hope you're not expecting an apology from me.
I wouldn't dream of it. But I must say, I am also disheartened. Do not misunderstand me. I am glad that he took a friend of mine back in the world. And it was my charge, my charter, my mission to remove him from life and those that would follow. And while you have completed part of that task for me, I will always hate you for it.
That's good. You know, I respect you and your honor. I think it's marvelous. You could have gone about it in such a base manner. You know, you could have stabbed me in the back. You could have tripped me off my camel and tried to trample me. But instead, you just told me what you thought to my face. You know, it took some prodding. I think that's fantastic.
I do try to exercise restraint. Lately, it seems that my rage has gotten the better of me. As you saw at the Pyre, which I suppose I owe you an apology for.
Well, I think that gives us something in common. Look, I really don't care if you like me. I like you. I think you're a great fighter. And, the more rage and the more anger you've got, the better for you in this atmosphere. So as long as you don't stab me in the back, as I said, I really can't think of anything wrong with what you've told me. I didn't know, in my defense. Not that I care to defend myself, but I didn't know you were after revenge. I don't know if that would have changed anything, but I do regret that you missed your chance. Wow. That would have been nice to see. I can't pretend I didn't enjoy ripping him from reality, though. That's a good memory for me, but I wish you could have had that.
Yes, bittersweet for me. And I must say, it has been interesting making your acquaintance and seeing your powers and seeing you in action. And I do consider you a valuable asset to Arventa and this place. What is troubling to me, I see this darkness within you. And I wonder how much of that darkness is meant for friends of mine. Tell me. We've seen your vengeance against Tenethil. But what harbor you in your heart for Herman Roth.
Well, you've caught me in a bit of a contemplative mood. I don't know. At the beginning of this whole thing, I was relegated to a somewhat menial role, guarding his things and seeing to his affairs while he was out poking and prodding at things in the desert. And now it seems I've come into my own as something of a useful asset, as you say. So maybe it's a better question to ask what Herman Roth has in mind for me. Or for himself, for that matter, because he has seemed quite listless since our misadventures in the castle.
I will admit, I have seen a change in him as we have been at this place. He seems less certain.
Well. At the risk of confessing a weakness, I admit I'm not entirely comfortable with my new self. I've been empowered by all this hatred, but it's not a good thing. I don't know if it's entirely bad, but I'm trying to remember who I was a few months ago. And it seems like decades now.
In the distance, the peak of the mountain looms ahead.
You know, I regret that Van Wyn had to see the violence in that cave, in those tunnels. I don't think he deserved that.
Well, I do not think he deserved it, but this is a harsh place, and we all have lessons to learn amongst the sands.
Van Wyn or Tanithil?
Did I say Tanithil? I meant Van.
He meant Van. Yeah, he said Van.
Oh, he said Van Wyn. You made it sound like he's dead.
No, I just, well, we don't know.
Right.
But I regret that he had to be a witness to such things.
Oh, right.
Tanithil had it coming.
Don't get me wrong, I have no regrets about what I did. I just wish Van Wyn didn't have to see it.
It was a harsh introduction, but a lesson that I think he had to learn. Regardless, I do think it raises an interesting question. Van Wyn, so eager to join us and see this place. Has he seen too much?
Oh. Well, I underestimated quite how hardened you are.
When you experience loss time and again, particularly those you have known for centuries, it becomes normal. Death, I mean.
Well, tree elf, it would be wrong for me to hold you to a different standard than I hold myself. So, if we find Vanwin, you can do whatever feels right. I won't get in your way.
Well, we will feel him out and make a decision in the moment.
Before we get there, I want to make sure we have an understanding. As I said, I don't care if you like me, and I don't expect you to, but I don't want you to get in my way, and I don't want you to try anything behind my back. I won't get in yours either. If you do have any other vendettas that you would like to carry out, do me the favor of letting me know. I won't give them the killing blow.
I appreciate and respect that. And you have no need to worry about betrayal. We are but two out amongst these sands, and what have we if not each other?
I agree.
And with that, your two camel-riding elves, one from the sea, one from the trees, supposedly, find their way deeper into the mountain chain, where the Wandering Eye camp led you along the way to near around the Pyre of Gede. And ahead of you lies treacherous mountains that will require some good old-fashioned dungeoneering to traverse in terms of navigating the rocks and the crags. Never mind some decent survival tactics as the winds and the heat bears down upon you. And already you can see sort of two ways to go. A risky route or an unsafe route. Neither bodes too well. But with that, I leave it to you. You can see that the mountain, hex-wise, if we're looking at this sort of map here, it's inapproachable. You're gonna have to approach it from the back. So you have your unsafe route or you have your risky route. Unsafe because it's, a little bit nebulous what's over here, but risky because you've heard there's, blood rocks and could be inhabitants in the mountains over here, and just the sheer makeup of the mountains themselves. They just look riskier.
So there's a extremely dangerous route.
Yeah, there's a dangerous route. Yeah,
route.
exactly. And with
I
that,
don't see any advantage to.
No, there's not, other than the physical map.
Right.
Who knows what you could come across going down here? And this is just straight up safer, but you might not find, uncover anything along the way.
Right.
Obviously, I'm not pressuring you to go to this mountain. If you guys just want to keep venturing off, you're more than willing to or able to. But if the mountain peak is obviously in your vision.
That's, I think.
The mountain is the goal.
Yeah, that's where we're going. It's right there.
Well.
Seems like we're stuck between a risk and an unsafe place.
Well, what do you think? Are you down for some risky business?
Oh, well, why not? We've come this far, but I don't have any potion left.
Very well.
Okay, so we're sort of days of travel per hex.
Oh.
And already you can feel that the heat is bearing upon you as you enter these mountain chains. And you sort of can, as I've alluded to, and you can see as you get closer, the rocks are of a red material that you've never seen before in this black desert sands. It's almost as if the mountains themselves have come crashing down onto the desert sands. There's basalt sands and, caked on, black rock, but the rocks themselves are of just this deep, blood red rock covered in the rest of the basalt sands that have just, drifted on and piled up. And just seeing this, it looks like this mountain chain is of a completely different continent that has crash down upon the deserts.
What are we talking? Igneous, sedimentary, metamorphic?
Definitely metamorphic.
Okay, yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's why I said it. And you're gonna need a lot of resources here. It's gonna be a ration per day, and with this oncoming heat, it's gonna be an extra ration.
Okay.
Oh, all right. Well, it's multiple days per hex.
It's gonna be a day per hex.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Well, I feel barely prepared enough for this.
Indeed.
Spent all your money building
We
shoddily
forgot
made.
about this.
Yep. It's part of the game too.
All right, so perhaps we
You guys started it. I love
perhaps
it.
we should restock at the remains of the pyre. Scavenge up some rations. What do you think?
We have the option to do that, sure. Otherwise, will the camel hold too?
Hey, whoa! I need my camel.
I need
That's a lot of rations, though. They got the hump.
Or-
You know what? These special silver-haired camels, they have detachable humps.
Okay.
So that you can
Keep going.
Hey, hold on. So that you can access the bounty that the that the camel
Is that
has.
biological, or is it like an add-on from the elves themselves?
Well, you know, it's not at the
They upgrade. They
not
got the
at the
upgrade.
expense to the camel.
They got the lining.
It's the premium trim.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
So are you gonna go eat this camel
hold
right
on.
in the right at the fire?
I'm gonna justify some rations, okay?
Okay.
They have
Tons of stuff.
extra humps,
Okay.
but they're not all part of the camel. It's
Okay.
like a sort of saddle that they've like added on aesthetically.
You're really going after eating this camel.
No, I'm not eating the camel.
Oh, okay.
Think of like a saddle, but it's not a saddle. It's
Like
a hump.
like saddlebags.
It's like an extra hump.
Okay.
It's a bag. That's what I'm going for.
Okay.
It's a hump packed full of nutrition for the rider. But it's like a leather, you know, strapped on hump.
I'll go
Hump
ahead.
bag.
I'll give you an intelligence
Hump
check
saddle.
to see if you can navigate this saddle hump storage mechanism that seems ingrained within
try-
these silver-haired camels.
to try and get
It's going to be
it to
hard. You're
work.
going to need a 17 or higher, and if you do, you will get 1d4 rations.
Well, that's a 15.
You're not going to find any rations worth salvaging within these humps here.
Shame. Well, I fought pretty hard for that one.
You did, yeah.
you
You
did.
sit down the die roll. You know these camels have something, but this one just wasn't stocked.
Damn, I forgot I ate it on the way.
It's quite a long trip through the desert here. Yeah, that could be the justification for it as well too. It's been tapped.
My intelligence was my memory there.
You want to try to scrounge for rations within the wilderness here?
I would like to do that, but Elarius has an idea to potentially influence the outcome here.
Okay.
Elarius would like to see if there are any scorpions, insects, small mammals, what have you, in a given area. And then use the breath of the dune to sink himself down just below the sand surface.
Okay.
Wait till he feels something on top,
Okay.
and then try and trap it.
Tell us about this Breath of the Dune. This is a recent treasure you picked up
So,
from the Storehouse of Gede.
yes. Wriggling like a larval creature from forgotten depths, this runic charm emits tendrils of dark mist. The benefit is that you can breathe under sand for a short period, but the curse is it feels like inhaling smoke, and so you have to make increasing DC con checks the longer that you're using Breath of the Dune.
Wow. So Elarius is going to put this Breath of the Dune and use it to kind of be like a submerged spider and attract, see if any critters or creatures are willing to navigate in. All right, yeah, that sounds great.
What would be the, was that going to be dex? Is that going to be strength? What are you going to be doing?
That's a Constitution check to remain under the sand.
But to capture the thing, is that going to be a roll or no?
I'm gonna let him see how long he can go, and that will dictate the time that he's waiting within the sands.
Okay. I'm trying to. Yeah, I've got some shamanic.
There you go. Yeah, that's right.
Here we go.
Yeah, Call of the Wild.
I always use Call of the Wild.
Come on, go to. Woo!
Yeah, I'm calling.
I think just kill him.
I'm trying to use the other
Do
ones.
Call of the Wild where he is.
It's a rock column. That's not helpful.
I'm gonna do Flora's Embrace, which is to entwine and capture things, but I'm not going to actually capture anything because I don't see anything. However, I'm going to call on the. I don't know if there's plant life in the sands. I don't know what I can call on. Maybe there's
little
like
shrubs within the
mushrooms
rocks. Yeah,
I don't know. Whatever.
It's very sparse.
Lichens to make basically like a big bowl, kind of like around you, or like a little. No, like a wall, basically, to like keep
them in.
Keep them in, exactly. So make an arena. Giving you an arena to fight the scorpions. All right, so
okay. Let's see if you get this
the
spell.
roots and lichens come around. The moss and the mushrooms come around to the fighting
You start
arena.
weaving their way around. And just, we rolled an 8.
But I still managed to sing despite that. Barely.
What'd you get?
So, I don't know. I think I have a +4 with this ring, so 12.
Barely.
Yeah, well, that's a 10.
Oh, okay. But you're gonna have to do it every round.
Right, yeah. Yeah, note to us, we should maybe try and rework the shaman class a little bit so that it's not, like, as boring. But we can do that another time.
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, so
Switch out of class.
everything's focus, but yeah, so all right, so there
All
we
right,
go.
so you're in the sands. I feel like your lichen bowl is gonna take way more time than him holding his breath. He's holding his breath like every minute type of thing.
Yeah, I'm just trying to basically make a smaller circle to like push any stuff.
All right, let's see. Go ahead, make a Constitution check.
But around him.
Yeah,
That's right.
He sees Elarius puts the breath of the dune, slinks underneath the sand, gets a lung full of smoke from this, and he rolls an 8. Do you accept that roll?
Yes.
So immediately the sands fill his eyes and his nose and his ears, and the smoke just feels so overpowering. His lungs just feel like he's enshrouded within a blaze of a campfire, and underground as well too. It's like he's being buried alive. The thing just slithers out of his mouth. He just is totally submerged underneath this sand. And as your lichens start to form this bowl, they immediately surround, or like they're surrounding Elarius as he penetrates the ground with a mouthful of smoke, sand, black sand.
What happened?
Well, I'm not sure that I'm using this thing correctly.
Oh, well, I'm sure it takes practice. And anyway...
But that's done. He's failed. That thing's out of commission for the day.
Okay. As I was saying about the lichen and the sands...
7.
I'm barely making it here. So, okay, I guess the bowl constricts more? I don't know.
So I'm gonna roll this oracle die here at disadvantage without having this bait underneath and your lichen here. So do any of these little scorpion creatures appear? Nat 1. No, and in fact, you've stripped the area of whatever lichen and plants that you've completely trying to utilize as your little bowl here that it, drives any semblance of life away from you guys. Like the activity of rustling everything, you can see something skitter away, and it's like, it's having such an adverse effect of what we're trying to do here, coupled with this guy just busting up from the sand.
Well,
and who knows, like how long, Nat 1 do things actually come? No, like, a little, like, Kincada grasshopper thing flies away, like it's driving life away from you guys.
At the risk of asking something that I should know, Sea Elf, any of your plants edible?
Well, I'm not familiar with these desert plants, but I do know that lichens can usually be eaten. They can be boiled into teas.
I've heard tales of edible desert plants. Some of them are hallucinogenic.
I have heard that some members of our community have partaken in such things in the past. I was not present, although perhaps certain ceremonies in my past called for such things, but recently I have no such experience. Unfortunately, I have no real help. Although I believe that later on I could do a healing circle for us, and that would give me more insights into the nature of this area.
Well, for the time being, my stomach is rumbling.
Have you any rations?
I do, but I was hoping to save those for later if we had provisions available here.
Well, it seems not.
So your efforts to gain some rations right from the get-go have been quite disastrous. Have you even decided which route you want to take? I think you guys said you wanted to take the risky route, or there's unsafe to the north and risky to the south.
Is unsafe seemingly faster, also, or is risky potentially faster?
Risky is potentially faster.
I like risky. So
What a coincidence, right? Let's go.
The weather could dictate otherwise.
All right.
Okay, so your first day is gonna be consuming 2 rations because of this hot weather. And the night is warm and breezy, giving you guys a little bit of a reprieve. Now, risky, there's a 2 in 6 chance of an encounter happening versus 1 in 6 for the unsafe. That's the other thing too, the threat level.
We're already on the road, yeah. I think we deduced as much.
Let's go. You guys are going risky.
All
Let's
right.
see if something happens.
go.
1 and 2.
Hey, well, we don't know what these encounters are going to be.
that's true. Maybe they're edible.
Okay, 5.
An edible encounter. That's
edible-
my favorite thing
yeah.
to receive in the mail.
The Yonkeg was.
As you guys are navigating the harsh, jagged shale rocks and cracking stones around you, you can see it's like off in the mountain. There's no clear path, but it seems like little caves or a little alcove that is like carved or made. Like you could go into these sorts of locations if you wanted to. They'd be tough to get to and navigate, and you could explore them if you wanted, or you could keep trekking on. Far within the horizon, you see the fluttering, spreading wings of a large red wyvern.
Oh my.
Far distance.
I've heard about those further south.
Yeah, I had a bad experience with one.
Can one have a good experience with one?
Well, so they say the Razgodai do.
Ah. Well, that's another thing I don't know much about. I don't know. I think we should just try and steer clear and make our way to this cursed mountain peak as soon as possible.
Yeah, I mean, let's continue on and see if we are harassed.
I mean, we have no choice.
Knocking an arrow just to be safe.
So do you want to continue upon your trajectory heading to the mountain peak?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna just forego. If you had the opportunity to see any of these alcoves or caves, would that be of interest to you?
I think
Really pushing these caves.
No, it's just like if you guys want to keep a bead on going to the mountain, that's your driving, operating.
I guess we could try and get some rations.
Well, you don't know what to expect, but it could
Right.
take more time. It's also, game time as well, too. You'd be focused on exploring these alcoves and caves as opposed to getting to the peak of the mountain.
Yeah, I think we stay the course for now. But if we need a hasty retreat and these caves are within eyeshot, I think that that's a good backup plan.
Sure.
Okay. You guys continue upon your way.
So we're going like here.
Yep. Correct. Yep. You've explored this
So
one.
basically,
Yep.
it'd be this way, we think.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the sheer cliff. The mountain is such a sheer
Yeah.
cliff that you have to go around to approach it. All right. We are furthering the quest out into the mountains, and you can see being on these mountains are obviously blocked and whatnot, but this picture kind of sums it up where you get a better view of this is all mountain chain all along the edge here, all along here. It's like mountains. So you're having an advantage. If you were to get on top of this mountain peak as well too, you'd probably be able to see far off into
Quite a
the hex
ways.
map. Yeah. So I could reveal things, but getting there is the challenge.
Map making.
I do
Getting
like
there is the challenge. Who's navigating?
What does that take?
Intelligence.
Probably me, I guess.
it. Probably.
Okay. Navigation.
Elarius knows what he knows, but
All right. So navigate.
Yep, we're gonna see if you find a route.
9.
Okay, so you spend more time in this one hex trying to navigate the path out to this next hex that you're trying to get to. And you spend most of the day fighting the hot heat. And you can tell that tomorrow is gonna be just as hot, if not hotter.
Perhaps we should retreat and try again. Something tells me we are ill prepared for such exertions.
I must admit I'm finding it more difficult than I anticipated. I thought I knew this desert.
It's not the desert anymore.
I thought I knew these mountains. In the desert that I knew.
It's a vast place.
Yes.
Yeah, and being here is unlike anything that you've traveled thus far in the desert. Even mechanically, we've kind of like hand waved a lot of the hex crawling, but now it's like this.
So what happens if you don't have rations?
You'll just start making constitution checks and suffering damage for failure.
D4 damage?
Yeah, I think if you want to even get into it, you can go like 3 days without rations or whatever, if we really got into it mechanically.
While taking damage?
No,
Or without damage?
without damage.
Oh. Well, never mind. That's not that bad.
Yeah, it's a matter of what you want to say time-wise. Sometimes I feel like the hexes you can go like 4 hexes in a day, and like I'd much rather do every hex is a day, and without food or water, you start suffering damage. It's just way cleaner that way than trying to track like 4 hexes, and then that's one day, and then I got 3 days where I don't have to eat, so I could go 12 hexes. That's basically across the map, like not eating.
Well, it depends what kind of map you get, I guess.
Yeah.
But all right.
And especially for these mountains and stuff, I'm just keeping it simple. Takes a hex per day, and depending upon the heat, it's gonna take a ration. Extra hot, extra ration.
Really?
Yep.
I mean,
Well, it's up to you.
I would imagine you guys too, like, you guys just, to paint the picture. You guys just had that talk going in. You guys got each other, and now you're in these mountains, and you find yourselves, I guess, ill prepared or prepped.
well,
How do you guys feel about that?
slightly disheartened, but I can deal with a little dehydration. How about you, Sea Elf?
Well, I don't know if I've faced heat like this. I've felt quite well at home in the desert, but this is, this is different. I don't like it here. But if you're gonna continue, I'll follow you for a while.
So you gonna keep progressing forward?
Yeah, let's
I
go for
guess.
it.
Or should we dig around for rations in the caves?
I mean, are there caves through this whole system? Like, do we lose the opportunity to go into caves if we press on?
No, they're scattered throughout, but finding them, who knows if they're connected
Sure,
or
okay.
or like
All
you know
right.
just making you more lost.
No, let's press on. But
Great.
again, we have Plan B.
All right.
Yep.
Okay, so what do we do? Try navigating
Yep.
again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Loric, the navigator.
Jesus. All right, well, that's 11.
Okay, you find yourself in the hex further
okay.
south.
Is that enough? Oh, no, we went the wrong way.
Yep. You've progressed, but you're now deeper within the mountains. Okay, this is risky, so 1 to 2. Okay.
This place is confusing.
I agree.
All of these crags and peaks look the same.
Yes, I don't think we're going the right way, but I couldn't find my way out of that one.
What do you think, Thaz?
Perhaps we turn back and try to get out another way?
I feel like we are getting further away from the peak instead of closer.
I think so. It was just back that way.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'll try again. So, can we go back to the hex?
Yeah, but it's a different day now.
Okay.
So the heat has become very hot. It's now an extra ration. There's also driving winds that pick up along these mountains, and it will add an extra day to whatever you're trying to do.
Oh, this is brutal weather. Perhaps we should take shelter in these caves.
I concur. I do not like this wind.
No. So, let's take shelter in the caves, I guess.
Okay. So you guys find your way into a small-ish cave that has natural sort of passageways in that branch off, and they just are navigable by your size, but at the same time they seem to be housing more than meets the eye. Like things within this mountains could be rooms or like worked stone or chambers within here. But you're at the mouth of this cave right now.
I think we must find rations or water at the very least.
Yeah, let's see what lies within. Perhaps there's some sort of condensation or fungi or something.
Mm-hmm.
All right, justify to me what you're doing. You're navigating for water and fungi, or are you going to? What would your characters do? And that'll dictate the stat.
Good question. What would Loric be doing? Well, what would Elarius do? I have some ideas.
I think Elarius would be looking for any sort of subterranean plant life or fungi. So talking, moss, any sort of lichen, any kind of mushroom, any kind of vines that might be able to grow down.
You're willing to go into this cave and search for
Yeah.
it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lark?
I'll leave the water to Loric. That's where he is.
Yeah, and indeed, his being a mystic, right, of the ocean, his deity that he and his people worship is Aqualis, the goddess of the sea. Or spirit, perhaps, kind of unclear. Maybe it's not quite the same model as in the more quote-unquote civilized areas, but in any case, I think he's going to take a minute to reconvene and use his spirituality and wisdom to try and connect with water.
Nice keying in the stat there.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me charisma. Okay, you go and roll your intelligence, Larius.
I think that's the shamanic
Stat, yeah.
stat,
yeah.
right?
Nice 5 from Hilarious over here.
17.
Hilarious is going to remember a time in the woods with his father as a child.
Nice.
On a excursion as part of his transition to adulthood, he was tasked with surviving in the wilderness for a number of days, and he was unsuccessful in finding sustenance for 2 days, while his father was successful and eating heartily. And this might have been the first time that Elarius had experienced rage and contempt like he feels on a regular basis now. And so he actually snuck off and spied on his father, somewhat cheating the purpose of this ritual in transitioning to adulthood, and was able to identify where there was sustenance to forage. And so recalling that memory, he's going to try again.
I can't wait to see this. That's 20. That's the one.
Rage pays. Well,
So to elaborate.
Yeah, so feeling those hunger pangs and feeling that burning inside of him, rage and hunger, Elarius kind of frustratedly starts digging away at a section of dirty rock. And while it might have just been out of frustration in the beginning, he notices something slightly shiny. And scraping away at the dirt, which he hasn't seen almost like dirt really in a while, there are a number of juicy, slick mushroom caps growing out of the wall. And he keeps clawing, and there's just a whole kind of vein of this fungus that seems to be growing and glowing.
Growing and glowing.
Yeah, maybe it's
fungus.
phosphorescent. Yeah,
All right.
Maybe Ingy's, Ingy would like this.
That's how he found it. He was just like, I'm going to go towards this glow.
And this Loric over here with his wisdom has found the moisture that has allowed these things to grow. So with your success over here shamanically and your amazing story with your survival with your father, go ahead, roll advantage with these D4s, and this will dictate the number of rations you guys find. 2s across the board.
2 each or 2 total?
2 each.
2 each. I'll take 2 each then.
Within these caves, seems like hospitable of sorts, worth exploring more, or continue back upon your way.
I think there might be more, I dare say. I think I'm going to try to use my strength. Perhaps we could join our strength.
I would love that.
To move some of these rocks aside and uncover more dirt, because who knows what kind of mushrooms or roots could be behind, these rocks.
You trying to get more rations, or you want to actually go more explore and
Get more rations.
Yeah, I'm saying if you want to explore more into this cave, you strip this thing out of all the rations you could find right now. Unless you want to keep going further into the caves, it's just going to take you away from the mountains.
I don't know. I feel like we need more rations. So if there's no possible way we can get rations,
Well, not right
let's go
here.
back out.
If you want to go further into the cave and explore it,
Okay,
what you
then,
could find
yeah.
along the way.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Okay. So as you divulge further within the caves,
Oh wow! Look at this. Amazing.
give me your little minis here.
Who would have thunk? Whatever.
Deeper within these caves, let's see, does something happen? No, not that you are aware of. There's a span that seems to traverse far down into the black depths of the distance. Further ahead, if we could just move this over here, seems like there's more cave and more ledge, but it's worked stone. It's like a wall. It's like a rampart or some type of
A quarry?
building or something. Yeah, it's looks like some built like if there was a village here that if this whole mountain chain were to crash down, everything kind of caved in on itself.
Interesting.
But it's across the span here, and now we're getting into dangerous adventuring territory. Some of these things are pretty straightforward in terms of just straight up, how do we solve these cross the ledge, jump the gap puzzles? But what would your characters do in these adventurous sort of situations? How are we going to navigate these cave systems here? Clearly there's more within these mountains than meets the eye.
Well, do you see what I see over there?
It vaguely reminds me of what we saw in the Pyre chambers.
Well, hopefully there's no poisonous gas this time. But if we're gonna get across this, we might need to use some iron spikes and a length of rope.
I can offer some assistance. If you have a rope,
I have rope, I have spikes as well.
I do like to solve problems with arrows.
Oh, I could have guessed that you might say something like that, so lead the way.
May I?
Just dump all my stuff in his hands. Here you go.
Yeah, no, we're tying on to an arrow, and we're gonna try to spy a decent lodging place to fire a rope arrow.
All right, so you do that. I'll be holding onto the rope at this end,
So it doesn't.
so it doesn't just fly away.
Oh, there goes that.
Nice. Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Make an attack roll over there. Yikes. Perfect, beautiful. So
That's going to be a 11, actually.
I almost wanted to conceal
For
that.
clarity.
Yeah. The rope sticks onto the side.
Gonna give it a tug.
Solid.
Pretty solid. Excellent.
Thanks.
So I'm going to maybe use a spike on the other end to anchor the rope.
I think that's a fantastic idea.
All right, so I'm going to hammer this spike in here,
Make a
tie the
strength check.
rope off.
Oh, there's no hammers in ShadowDark, so.
Oh,
Yeah, you gotta use the butt of your...
I was using the hunting knife. I was using another iron spike. Oh, I actually have a grapple.
Just don't call it a hammer. ShadowDark police will come in here and
Right.
shut you down.
I'm using my flint and steel. 14 to the hammer.
Great, okay.
To the pounding.
All right, so you have this rope secured. Arrow on one side,
All right.
piton metal spike on the other.
Perhaps one of us at a time should go. I secure the end.
I will volunteer to go first so that when I make it across, I can cover your back a little
Okay, fair enough. Or just hang on to the rope in case I slip and fall to my death.
bit. Well, that is also true.
With some all this time, let's see. Nothing happening.
All right, go ahead. So I'm holding onto the rope just in case.
Say, do I need to check to go across here?
You're gonna use a strength check.
That's gonna be 18.
Okay, yeah, you feel a little sag in the rope, but Elarius manages to cross the ravine of sorts, getting to the other side.
Turn around and just,
You gonna hang on to that rope for me there?
yeah, hang on to the rope and make sure nothing's coming up from behind.
Oof. 10.
As Loric is traveling across, the rope on Elarius' side, the one that was wedged in, the arrow comes apart, and go ahead, make a dexterity check to try to grab this rope.
You've been holding it.
Yeah, I mean, like, keep to hold. He's got it.
Okay. Not a strength?
Not strength.
I said dexterity.
You did say dexterity. What?
19?
18 total.
With a -1? Wow, okay, so you're holding it and just to catch yourself, catch everything, do your best to suddenly be caught by surprise, do you make up for the faulty arrow that has given way to Loric? Loric, you feel a twang. You're halfway through.
Oh, I'm halfway.
You're halfway
so
through in
down
all
here.
this. Yep.
Okay. All right.
So you're gonna make another strength check.
Yep.
And Larius is gonna make another strength check.
Oof. All right. That's 6. Oh boy.
It's also a 6.
Do you accept these rolls?
Yeah.
So Loric is remembering a time. He's his old world position, his position on the islands.
Yes. Tell us about this.
So in the old world, the islands upon which he used to live, not much more than rocks. You know, they would often go out and he would lead the band of the younger elves on sort of expeditions around on their little archipelago. And sometimes there would be a crag to cross and they would have to get very creative with their clamberings and their, finagling to not fall into the little, clefts between the rocks down into the waves below. So, in his position of responsibility in the old world, sort of being a focal point of attention for the youth, he often had to do such things.
Holding on to ropes for dear life.
Well, he practiced before doing that.
Okay.
And got that out of the way. So 14.
Okay, so you're holding on to the rope. The metal spike on the other end, detaches from the wall as, Elarius is fumbling with his side of the rope. The culmination of this is gonna make you swing down into the side of this wall here.
Whoa. Oof.
And you hold on tight, but you're gonna suffer 2 damage.
Despite my constitution. My excellent constitution.
Oh yeah, no, you get whacked up against this wall. Be thankful you don't fall plummeting to your death thanks to your to this luck token here, which has helped you significantly. So you guys are on the other end of this ravine, of this ledge here, on the other side. Loric's hanging down 20-25 feet down on the rope.
I guess I'm gonna climb up, or is there like a ledge that I can?
Yeah, you can climb up. Yeah.
All right.
But with all of this, take some time.
Do I have to make a check for this?
No, I'll give you. It's gonna be a time thing at this point. You guys have suffered enough in all of this.
Right, so I'm climbing up, I guess, to rejoin Elarius up here. Well, at least we still have the rope.
Yeah. Well, here you go. Sorry.
Right, put that away.
And amongst all of this, do you feel for once, despite the ropes and despite what's going on, a moment of coolness? This temperature has dropped significantly, being in this mountain now, being away from the hot desert heat, and it's given you a sense of clarity, for lack of a better term, but at the same time, you're now shrouded in darkness within this complete...
The little cracks and crevices, we're not letting in any more light. All right, so light a torch.
Who's lighting it?
Me.
Loric is lighting a torch.
Loric's lit.
Loric is lit. Okay, so the torch gives you enough navigation. Yeah, there's little specks of light and whatnot, but not enough to see every single footing where you're going. So you head towards what you can see to be somewhat of a establishment or construction. Or do you want to?
Sure.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Yep. What do we got?
So okay, deep within this cave, you see a room of sorts.
Oh, let's bring it a little bit
Coming
more
in
into
over.
into the visuals. So we're entering the room.
Coming in this way. And it is of a large construction, like huge. Like The chair is the size of a barn. You know, it's huge. These things are huge. You know, but the room is collapsed in such a way that it's you're managed to navigate within it. But you can feel that there's some significant presence here. Obviously, the miniatures don't kind of give you the perspective, but like this is the size of a kitchen. You know, it's like a big type of pillar that's so huge. Like every one of these squares would, you know, close is a square type of thing. Like, you know, moving near would take you a significant amount of time to even traverse this room here.
Well, perhaps there's a massive chest of treasures for us to continue our travels, or an enormous bridge to get us back out of this place.
I will take anything at this point, so let us proceed cautiously.
So despite the chair, there seems to be some central piece here that's surrounded with, or piled with rubble. And there's some other piles of rubble near your entranceway and also in another corner. Is there anything of specific interest that you'd want to go explore? And then these walls specifically are different from the other walls.
Is there anything near the chair?
It's tough to see because it's so far away.
Right.
You'd have to go
We can
closer.
tell that it's chair-shaped?
Yeah, like in the shadows of the light, like, oh, that's a big chair, but like, it's gonna take me, you know, triple, you know, quadruple near to get there type of thing.
Right. It might take me 4 moves.
Yeah, exactly. And then something, you know, encounters can happen.
Right.
I'm very curious about this chair. Perhaps there are some Cyclopean writings or other clues as to what this place was for.
Let's go. I would like to try and call to the wild that may be out here to see what beneficial creatures might emerge and in what ways they could lead us to useful things.
Okay.
So, where are the creatures list? Or are you just going to give me a creature?
I'm just gonna give you a creature.
Okay.
What do you want?
Well, whatever's most beneficial.
But what creature comes to mind?
Something that flies,
Okay.
and perhaps something that glows.
Do you have a specific creature in mind?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, if it's even, you get it. If it's odd, I get it.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
Okay.
I'd have to look at the list.
I was gonna say some moths or like, you know, like a fireflies
Yeah, I
type
think
of
that would
thing.
be cool,
Yeah,
like a swarm of fireflies.
Yeah, cave fireflies.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. Sounds good. And they just kind of maybe will lead us somewhere. I don't know. They'll do whatever is most instinctually beneficial. And it doesn't work.
What happens?
Oh, it's too dry.
Yeah, must have been the plummeting dive into the ravine.
Right, I've kind of bruised myself.
Be shocked by the sheer sight of this
So I
subterranean
cannot
build.
call to the wild until the next.
More stress within this place. What does Elarius do?
Oriss is pressing on towards the chair.
Okay.
Yep. That's it.
Ooh, there it is. Okay, so you guys have made your way halfway to the distance of the chair when you can just feel the presence of like a dust storm start manifesting within the room and within the large central area here. Because it has this sinister sort of look here, like within the beaded eyes, within the swirling dust of the basalt dust mixed with the red rock. It has taken this form of a dune fiend.
A dune fiend.
Yep.
Oh boy. Right. Well, I think we should leave. Elarius, I don't believe that I have much to counter this creature with.
It's just the dust. It seems like it's forming into a solid mass of sorts.
Oh, I see. It is not a storm in and of itself.
No, it's forming. Yeah, it's all coming together
okay.
into something.
Does it seem to be a very strong entity?
Can we take it? Is that what you're asking?
Well, using his knowledge of fiends, sea fiends.
You think you're equally matched?
Wave
You
fiends.
think you're equally matched?
Okay. A surf fiend. I'm trying to think of something nautical. Beach fiend. I guess that's actually just kind of a dune fiend, isn't it? Square base, circle.
Elarius knocks an arrow.
Okay.
Does not fire, but knocks. And keeps an eye on this creature that is flying.
You guys just stand your ground.
We come here in peace. We're lost travelers. In Primordial.
You tickle its ears with primordial as it solidifies, and it seems to take this solid clay mass form with like jagged teeth. It has no features other than just its mouth and just two like slits within like a clay face, a clay body.
Almost like a helmet.
Yeah, but it's like all one piece, and just like the dust is like circling around it, so it just exists within this like storm of sand. And he just replies to you like, "What do you do here? If you are lost, leave these hallowed halls."
It's telling us to leave. Personally, I'm okay with that.
Well, I am as well. Tell me, creature.
Do you know primordial?
No.
I'll relay the message.
You did.
What's the message?
Tell me, creature. Would a suitable offering allow us safe passage through your hall?
Why do you walk with such a creature that does not speak like us?
We cannot always choose our company, as you have just discovered. But,
I want to eat it.
well, I would prefer not. Is there such an offering that we could make to you, or is
I
our
yearn
presence
for play.
play?
I have been here scouring these halls, and I yearn to play. I want to play with that one.
Well, we have a rope if you wish to jump rope. Have you ever done that?
Yes. Tie the end around his neck, and I will jump the rope.
I think we should leave.
Well, you seem to have a rapport with this creature, so I will follow your lead.
Stay and play with me, and I will show you what power this room has. You seem to have the yearning for power in your eye.
A wise appeal, but
Come, let us play.
today is not the day. I will begin pushing Elarius back towards the door.
Make wisdom checks.
That's not great.
23.
You notice, Loric, that it is not alone.
It's not alone.
I believe the word I'm looking for is
Same thing, but
shit.
formed in the dark corners of, behind the rubble, there's another one that has been forming and is slowly slinking. It's like long clay-like fingers, like.
So if we can like exit, like we didn't have to do any crazy stuff to get.
No,
in this
it's like
room, right?
flush with this
Okay.
walkway
Just
that you
kind
guys.
of a room inside of the town or whatever this is.
You can imagine it's all interior to this natural cave work, but like
Right.
boom, there's like a building that's collapsed in amongst the like natural cave work of the mountain that is collapsed.
Okay, so
And there could be other rooms like this, like further
that's
within.
what I said.
Yeah,
It looked like a bigger town type of thing, or perhaps.
yeah, it could
like-
be. Yeah. But it's like surrounded by collapsed rock.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Imagine a big avalanche,
Yeah.
or something that crushed this town or something.
Oh, these spirits do not bode well for this adventure we are on, Elarius. I really think we need to hightail it out of here, as they say on land.
You still have your row.
You're surprised by this. Not to put words in your mouth, but it's like, if you were to act, you would be surprised. You would lose your action.
I mean, that's. What do you mean we're surprised by the thing?
He is, you aren't, because you noticed it forming behind there.
Oh, okay.
It's like if the battle were to ensue, he's going to be surprised.
All right. I mean, let's double near him.
Yeah.
Double near.
Yeah. Okay, so that, double near is back. Like, you're at the entrance of this gate now.
Fiends, we wish you good day. We came here weary from the heat, beaten down by the atrocities of the
In
world.
his mouth just, I don't know, this howl just echoes throughout this whole chamber. Make charisma checks.
10.
You accept these rolls?
I'm gonna Oriss that.
Whoa! You might want to look at where the Oriss stand. Okay, it's not that bad. Look at this. The Oriss, which has been powered up by quite a number of different folk, is in an extremely high level here. And if you to look at the first page, if you want the old classic ability, I think it takes how many uses now?
Just to re-roll is 4.
Yeah, so keep that in mind. How many boxes are left? 4. So if you use this reroll ability,
We're leveling up.
you would max out this Oriss as you hold it within your hands.
Gotta do it this time.
Okay, so tell me about this. You're at this moment now. You're in this subterranean room here, surrounded by these dune fiends. They just want to play. You don't understand what's happening. You're trying your best to get out of here, but the room's so big that you're trying to just get out. When you hear this howl, this otherworldly shriek, when you feel a waver in your soul, perhaps, but at some point in the past, you were using this Oriss. You held this Oriss.
It feels almost like a dream. It feels like a dream. It feels like something that, while surprising in the moment, there's this split second of recognition, this image that Elarius has seen this before. Maybe the details aren't exactly lining up with his memory.
Give it a whirl, give it a spin, or you can just roll your die. Get the joy of rolling this crooked Oriss.
Is that the 20 side?
Yeah. Let's see. So using the power of the Oriss as the gears turn, a gem light up, and it completely fills another level of power. As Elarius is filled with what? What's the result here before we get into this next level of power?
12?
Total?
11 total.
Okay. And what's Loric's total?
10.
10 and 11. Wow, your presence is not good enough for either of you. You're just overtaken by this dune fiend. But before we get to that, the Oriss showed you this moment. Showed you how you would have faltered in your own steps, but gave you a vision of how to become more successful, how to have a better presence, how to be fulfilled, satisfied, complete. What would be that desire for Elarius? What is his ultimate drive, his ultimate wish?
Elarius's ultimate wish was to save those that he had lost. And he is coming to realize that the only way to do that is to avoid them being in danger in the first place. And the way to avoid them being in danger in the first place is to remove all of the dangers from this land. He thinks back to his time during the Great Wars, back in the Old World in the Legion. And he's understanding the need to conquer this place.
To conquer this place.
To conquer this continent.
He wants to conquer this land in order to correct the wrongs, to drive its destiny.
If Elarius is in control, he can prevent further tragedy.
Okay, give me this paper here. So, the Oriss tempts Elarius, big time. Does he expend the power of all the charges of the Oriss in order to become this position of power and control? But in doing so, he is given flashes of Togark and his desires to give magics to the other goblins of his tribes so his village can prosper. I believe he's maybe even one of the goblins here within this land. You think of Arcuria and her vision. Where is Galavan? This person, Galavan? You see images of this person that feels very close to you, but at the same time, a complete stranger. You know, you're on your sword there. You have a sigil carved in. You're not sure why. And Arcuria has the offer to gain this primordial Cyclopean power that you've been learning about. She would lose the ability to speak. She would lose an eye, becoming a Cyclops, but gain the power to create material objects. That would be eradicated from her and perhaps have ripple effects. And of course, Miss Biggs, to bring a desire of her future here, the Pyre of Gede. Maybe she missed that opportunity. The volcano of creation, uncovered family ties. These things the Oriss has presented to other party members would be eradicated from the potential futures laid ahead for Elarius to gain this element of control, of dominion, of give me a more powerful word.
Conquest.
Of conquest. In order to gain this role here. Does Elarius expend all of these charges to gain that? After your conversation with Loric on the camels here, having a heart-to-heart, having a destination of a goal in mind of getting to this mountain and frustratingly unprepared and navigating the weather and the heat, and now digging deeper and finding more of these Cyclopean runes that you yourself found within Arventa. Maybe this is predetermined. Maybe this is your destiny. You helped the Cyclopean Compass find positions and points of time stopping. Maybe you are the one to gain this power.
As these images, as this thought is flashing through Elarius's mind.
The thought for yourself.
Yes.
Because it's contrasted with Miss Biggs,
Right.
Togark, Arcuria, everyone else that has had their fates tied to this.
He reaches into his pack. The hand of Paravos
Yeah.
firmly grabs the hand of Elarius. Elarius will expend the power.
As you grab the hand of Paravos, you feel this. And you expend the power. And it washes over you as the Oriss rings and chimes, and you feel the weight of 1,000 generations ripple from this room underneath. Like as it ripples out from where you're standing, it's as if this whole room is alive again and its inhabitants are walking freely amongst it. You see the village that was once in this cave elevated and lifted. It's surrounded by the oceans. Loric, you see this too. There's water everywhere surrounding this. As these images just slowly fade, the oceans drain, and the whole island collapses, tumble, and collapse in as if you've gone through 1,000 generations and back. And in doing so, as things collapse and fall, you see Miss Biggs, her face, shattered in the distance. You see Arcuria looking and longing for Galavan, drops her head. You see Togark in his village, looking as if they're prospering, and that just like dust in the wind just gets blown away. And there, in the clearing of it all, Elarius stands like a conqueror before the domain ahead. All of these powers just wash within you as you start to just feel within you something strong, something powerful. Elarius stands here in the face of these dune fiends who, as they howl, all of a sudden choke on their own words, swallowing the very essence that they were using to intimidate you, and just cower at what they see before them. What do you do? Roll an attack.
That's going to be a 14.
14. Roll with advantage.
25.
Roll for damage. Roll with advantage.
So that was an 8, but not a total. That was 12.
Double it.
24.
With your powerful arrow, you line up a shot and it just penetrates this dune fiend, and this howl just seems to be pulled into its throat and mouth, and just shards of clay and copper from within it as its its skeletal veins shatter in this elemental sort of burst. Loric, you just see Elarius like he's never shot an arrow that fast, that hard, that powerful. You've never seen it land that precisely or that destructively before, as it's just unbelievable prowess that you see before you. The dune fiend just ruptures and is completely eradicated. Just the howl shimmering and shining and twinkling off of the giant stone walls here. But you feel like you could do that again easily. What do you do, Loric?
Loric is definitely taken aback, but also a bit exhilarated by this. So he turns to the other fiend that seems to now be kind of like shocked. I thought you wanted to play.
That's the other thing, he's speechless, and he just starts talking about that power. We have not seen that here for 1,000 generations. That is what we yearn for. That is what we look for. And he tries his best to take down Elarius.
You fool! Do it again.
He starts ravaging into you with two claw attacks.
12's the AC.
12 is the AC. Okay, so that's 2 attacks at disadvantage. 1 hits. This is at disadvantage again. That does not hit. So you see Elarius in his defense. His defenses are completely beyond what you've seen. The claws come in and he's just dodging them, and he manages to stave off 1 attack, but 1 lands for 5 damage. Your turn, Lord.
Need any help?
We're in this together.
So Loric's actually just very, like I said, very thrilled and amused. Oh, okay, fine. So he'll I guess he'll take his javelin and take a couple running hops and give it a jaunty toss at the beast. So what do I roll for a javelin? Is it strength?
If you're going to throw it, it is a ranged attack, dex. If you're going to use it as a melee attack, which you can.
Oh, you can?
Yeah,
can
you
use
won't
that
reach him,
and-
though.
I won't reach him?
Not with a single move, because it's so big. It's
Oh, he's so far away.
Yeah,
I'll just toss it at him.
Okay, then it'll be a dex.
Okay.
So you see Loric throw this.
10.
Do you consider him a part of your conquest?
All companions will be my trusted lieutenants.
Do you feel you would be part of his conquest as a lieutenant?
I don't know that this has been, like...
It's a feeling. It's like this exchange you just had. Do you need help type of thing? Like, and you're ready to throw this spear, and you're like, I'm gonna fight with this guy. Or is it just like, I'm kind of here to defend myself and see how the chips fall?
He's just having fun right now. We'll see what happens later.
So I'm gonna say a no then. Black and white, yes or no? Would you consider this yourself a lieutenant for what you're feeling in this moment, what you've seen, what you've witnessed, it's the vibe, and you've seen this thing.
I think Loric's along for the ride, but in the long run, nah, he's not going to commit to that now.
Long run, but let's say this week, this day, this moment.
This moment, yes, sure.
Roll with advantage.
Yes. All right. 11.
Okay. There's still the thing goes wide, even though this person is completely shocked at what's going on here. But you feel, I've got a little bit of an advantage here, a little bit of a tactical gain by just aligning myself with what Elarius has to offer. Go for it, Elarius.
Same regular advantage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, roll with advantage.
Roll advantage. All right. Gonna be a 17.
All right. Yeah, you knock your arrow. Is this stunned creature?
7 points of damage.
Double it.
14 points of
Okay,
damage.
so it just completely eradicates his arm, and he's just standing in pain. You can see like the coppery twine of a bone structure, a vein structure, is writhing around trying to grasp at the pieces of the clay that have just shattered amongst your arrows.
Hilarious smirks.
She's trying to get away now.
He's trying to get away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go and pick up my javelin.
Okay. Hilarious. He's like trying to leave into the deeper cave complex.
Yeah, another arrow. 24.
Okay, roll for damage.
6.
Double it.
12.
So you...
That's math.
Yeah, this creature's getting away, seems to try to, know some routes about, but you manage to keep your track on it and eradicate it as it's just about to hide behind a giant boulder, and the last of it just stumbles about. You can see pieces of copper just explode and shatter in the darkness and just twinkle and clink away.
Lovely. So I think Loric's going to go and pick up some of the copper bits that are scattering around.
Yeah, totally, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Scavenge those up.
Something has changed significantly in our friend Elarius.
Yeah, Elarius is going to walk over to whatever remnants of the face or head of the original dust fiend exist, and just step and slowly grind his heel into the skull / grind it into the ground.
I just imagine like sparks a bit, because there's like metal on the stone, like the copper or whatever. You're just like grinding this thing in. And there in the crackling of your torch, within this giant room? Do you feel like you have something before you? Perhaps this is the first step into unearthing, seems to be the vein. The name of the game, perhaps, for the Volpace Argentum. A domain here, perhaps, that is meant to be yours. This could be a foothold in the mountains, perhaps. Maybe it needs to be further excavated and explored and expunged, but maybe this is the seat of a larger growing empire that is meant to be yours, Elarius. This Oriss has given you significant power, and it's in a position in the mountains that maybe no one has recalled or remembered or has completely forgotten about. But what else exists within these caves and these red-dipped, red-encrusted, red rock mountain chains that has been lost to the sands of time? What has brought you here? What has compelled you here? Survival in the desert, thirst and starvation in the mountains, but yet in a moment of sheer fear and opposition to these dune fiends, do you channel upon the Oriss? The Oriss gives you this one moment to fulfill your desires and destiny, and you take it upon yourself. What ripples and ramifications will it have on your immediate party members? Don't know. You're gonna have to venture out with them and see what the Oriss has done to them. Your companion that you were at arms with or at odds with, now you're at arms with, and perhaps have taken under your wing, should he be willing to go for the ride, but you two seem to be elves on a quest for power. What do you think about Loric?
Well, as he's gathering the copper bits for himself, he kind of takes a moment to reflect on what's going on, and so Loric stops, and he turns back to look at Elarius. What have you done?
Something that perhaps I should have done a long time ago. Something perhaps that I should have realized a long time ago. This is a gift. This is not danger. This is not destruction. This is my way of shaping this place to be better.
Show him what you're talking about. Perhaps.
Yep. Yeah.
It's not as clear to Loric, perhaps, who hasn't had as much chance to use it.
Yeah. Elarius will
The Oriss.
show the Oriss and all of its glory to.
I don't think Loric has used it before, actually.
I don't think he has either.
But so he sees this. I see. Well, before you were not one to be trifled with. But now I don't know what to call you.
Well, we will discuss titles later. But for now, I can say this. At this point, Elarius is going to start clambering onto that giant chair.
It's huge.
Yeah, I get it.
It's like a
It takes a
kid.
minute.
10 minutes later, he's like,
He's just gonna take a perch on a horizontal surface that he can get to on the chair, you know, however high up that is. I think the view is better from up here. And for those who would join me, well, they can look down on the rest of this place as well.
perhaps you should run for mayor of Arventa, among other things.
Arventa, this whole continent. Maybe this is what Pyre of Gede was trying to tell me. Maybe this is why I have the castle. If I can secure this place, I can make it safe. And those who would stand in my way will become as the sands, will become as these dust fiends. I'm sick of feeling powerless. It's time for me to claim what is mine. And at this point, maneuver starts to pulse. Maneuver has a new goal, a new objective, a new quest.
What's that?
Power, conquest, control this place to the exclusion of all other goals. Be that supporting efforts that are not directly tied to controlling this continent, to establishing the domain, to expanding the domain. Or maybe it's a new empire. Maybe empire is a good word for this.
Empire. Perhaps that's what will be the plight moving forward as you guys spend the rest of your days here, the rest of the day here in this underground complex. You have spent some time today exploring and adventuring, and I give you the opportunity to justify vie for experience points tonight. What is the most valuable thing that you guys have experienced tonight? What is worthy of experience?
I bit on the Oriss. Elarius is realizing that this place needs to be tamed. And the Oriss, this power he has rejected for so long, this is the way to do it. So, character-wise, a lot has happened to our friend Elarius in this session.
Loric?
Well, I think Loric tried to be diplomatic. I think he tried to turn away from violence, turn away from anger, and he
That
saw
went left.
he saw what it led to, and so I think he's wary, very unsure what will come of this new Elarius, but he certainly doesn't really have a problem with it, and I think his character arc, or his not an arc necessarily, it kind of bent a certain way, maybe kind of came back and then went right back on course. So he has perhaps doubled down on where he was going as well.
He was like trying to repent or do the right thing, and then all of a sudden sees this burst of power like right in front of him, and
Well, in addition
like
to
pulled him back into the
didn't get
orbit.
him anywhere to do the right thing.
Sure.
So he's like, whatever.
I would say the turn of events that unfolded in front of us to allow this situation to happen was suffering and trials and torment in the mountains, and now to find this hidden underground village town of immense proportions is a huge benefit. Then to use the power of the Oriss as well too in this moment, and to see it through generations and have it kind of come back to its present form, giving you the potential of what it could be. I could have, to illustrate it even further, like there's a refinery, there's a forge, there's like these things that you see that exist within this mountain that maybe could be unearthed and reused because you saw it in its full form. That, I think, could be the greatest treasure of them all. But now we have an unbelievable unleashed power deep within this cave complex, and I can imagine maybe finding some passage to this spot would be very viable for your factions, your characters as well. That's something I want to see unfold more. But if I were to, let me see if I'll do this. Out in the ravines of the mountain chain, there is a hidden temple, a monastery, surrounded by robed figures, black robed figures that bear a mask with just one eye on its central face. And they all take their mask off, and they all have like one of their eyes are cut completely, like scarred. And they look within their central chamber, and this is hidden within the ravines and valleys. And as the circle of Ras Godai look within the central flowering lotus that opens up, as a significant power source has gone off deep within the mountains further away. The power of the Oriss has just made this lotus blossom, and there's a central eye within this lotus that all of a sudden starts pulsating, and its pupils, as if it's being opened for the first time in generations, looks deeper to the east, towards the Pyre of Gede, towards this mountain. And the Ras Godai put on their masks, and they all just start heading out into the direction that the lotus, the last person picks up this lotus before putting down their mask, and just opens up a sticky, gooey eye, just like re-injuring themselves, and just their eye is completely missing, and they take the black lotus and just put it within their eye socket, and the lotus is like fluttering on their face, and closes and puts down their mask and just heads off towards the direction that the eye is looking at, tracing down this magnificent power of the Oriss. But that, my friends, is a fable for another table. Hey, thanks so much for enjoying this chapter of our ongoing fable. If you liked what you saw today, go ahead and click that like button. If you're curious about what happens next, subscribe to our channel so you don't miss an episode. And if you really want to support us, you'll share this with your friends or gaming group. Maybe you can discuss different character motivations, or the arcs that are unfolding, or even GM tactics or responses to how the game emerges. If you're looking for a gaming group, we want to offer you an open table invite. All you have to do is quest to the little state of Rhode Island. Get in contact with us, either here in the comments on YouTube, or join our Discord server, or wherever our presence is on the internet. Otherwise, if you just want to enjoy the episodes when they release, we'll be sure to save you a seat.